Hi everybody, it's Julie with You to Be Healthy, and I apologize for the delay. I was having camera difficulties, so I just resorted to my phone. So here we are, and I wanted to come to you today to talk to you a little bit about whose fault is it. And normally I have notes in front of me that I kind of follow so I don't get off on a tangent somewhere, because we can all tend to ramble, right? Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today, about health issues that seem to plague a lot of people. I see tons and tons of posts from both people I know and even people I don't know complaining about their health. And I say complaining because that's all they do is complain. They either complain about their weight, they complain about how bad they feel, or they complain about some specific health issue. And we all have them. I have them. Everyone has them. But what separates the complainers from those who are what I would say mature are what they do about it. Now, granted, there are a lot of things that are not in our control. If you have, type 1 diabetes, you were born that way. But there's steps you can take, and I sure hope you're doing that, is to do all you can to help your body. Okay? Type 2 but diabetics, very few is that out of your control. If you have type 2 diabetes, that's all on you. Very few people that's not within their control. Heart disease. People say, well, I inherited it from my family. We're more predisposed to it. That may be true, but if you know that, then what steps are you taking to help prevent a heart attack in the future? Because you can't blame it all on your parents. And what a lot of people confuse genetics is really inherited lifestyles. So if you're obese and overweight and you say, well, all my family's overweight, it's not my fault. Yeah, it is. Okay, you might have been raised in a family who didn't eat right and didn't exercise and didn't make their health a priority. But now you're an adult. At some point in your life, you have to stop blaming someone else for your health issues and start taking responsibility for your own health. True, your parents maybe weren't taught when they were children. They were raised by unhealthy parents. And so they didn't know any better or didn't make the effort. And they just brought you up the same way. I understand that. That's not genetics. That's inherited lifestyle. And we all have control over that. And here's an interesting fact that a lot of people don't realize. When it comes to genetics and our DNA, some of it, our color of our hair, our eyes, that type of thing, a lot of it is out of our control. And even certain health conditions that we're predisposed to, might be breast cancer or diabetes or heart disease, that type of thing. There are genetic links. But here's an interesting little fact. When you start taking control of your health and you really are serious about it, you don't just dabble in it. When you start changing your diet and you change your health down to the cellular level and you start feeding your cells everything that they need to be healthy and produce new cells, over time, in relatively short time, that can change your DNA. Because your body has an amazing ability to change and to heal itself. And when you take your health seriously and you start taking these steps to get healthier, your DNA can change to a certain extent. But what's interesting is instead of passing on genes of heart disease and diabetes, you could actually pass on to your children healthier genes. You could stop the cycle. So think about that when you're saying, well, woe is me. Well, what about your kids or your future kids? That type of thing. And people, I absolutely hate posts on social media and when people say, life's short, eat the cake all the time and eat junk food, go sliding into the grave, fat and lazy and unhealthy because life's too short to eat food you don't like. That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Okay, I'm not saying you can't eat cake. Hey, my kid just had a birthday. We ate a ton of cake. Okay? But you know why it doesn't affect us so much? Is because we normally try to eat healthier the rest of the time so we can enjoy the cake. without any ill effects. It's when it's eaten all the time it becomes a problem. But when people say stupid things like that, like just eat whatever you want and do whatever you want because life's short, that's probably said by a person who's young and stupid. Because let's say you live to be 70, but 50 of those years you spent maybe sick, or maybe you spent 50 of those years in a lot of pain because you're overweight and your knees hurt and your back hurts and you have all kinds of diabetes issues, then that, sorry, I'm getting notices on my phone. It's interrupted my thought pattern. But let's say you spent 50 of those years feeling miserable. That's not a short life. That's a really long time to feel like crap. But whose fault is that? Again, we are where we are in life, whether our health or our finances or whatever, because of the choices we have made. Okay? Not what our parents did. At some point in time, you got to stop blaming your parents and start taking responsibility for yourself in all manners of life, not just your health. You can't blame society. You can't blame God for everything. I mean, God has a role and we have a role. So what's your role? If you're just sitting there complaining about how you feel to the rest of the world, and, oh, just pray for me. My stomach's upset. Again. My tummy hurts. Or my back hurts. Or I can't lose the weight. I just gotta eat the carbs. No. And you're not going to get sympathy from me. And you're not going to get sympathy from a lot of grown-ups, because after a while that gets old. I will sit and listen to you tell me about your health issues, but then I'm going to ask you, what are you willing to do to change them? Because if you're not willing to take the steps necessary to improve your health, then stop complaining. Grow up. And I know that sounds mean. People are like, well, you're so mean. No, I am really a caring person. I care deeply about people, but my goodness, grow up. Stop complaining, and I had to really control my language there. Stop complaining to the whole world how bad you feel. If you're not willing to do this, take the steps necessary to feel better. Because all you're doing is acting like an immature, little, whiny person who just wants sympathy. And there's a ton of them out there, and we all know them. Every other post is how bad they feel, or how many times they need prayers, and they won't tell you why. And then you start pulling it out of them. Oh, well, the doctor said that if I don't lose weight, then he's going to have to up my insulin, and I can't afford that. Well, what are you doing to lose weight? Well, I can't because my knees hurt. There is something you can do today, to change your life for the better. The whole goal is to have our health span to be as long as our lifespan. And a health span is the number of years that we feel pretty good. Maybe we might have a few little things around here and there, but our health span is the years we feel, for the most part, pretty good. And you want that health span to equal your lifespan as long as possible. Because we only get one life. And what kind of life is it sitting and complaining about how bad you feel? Everybody has issues. It's not all genetic. Most of it's learned. So I will help you. There are tons of people out there that will help you. But there are steps you have to take to help yourself. And I get this all the time. When people call and complain and tell me about how bad they feel, and they tell me about their specific issues, and I give them some suggestions, almost every time they'll say, that's interesting. That's exactly what my doctor said. Really? What does that tell you? It tells you that there are things you need to do if you want to feel better. Can we cure your arthritis? No. Can you feel better while you have it? Yes. Can you prevent all cancers? No. Some cancers are not in your control, but a lot of them are. There are things you can do right now to prevent cancer. Certain cancers. Are you still using bleach? Are you still using Febreze? Are you still using dangerous toxic chemicals around you and your children? Why? Why are you doing this? And I'm screaming at you because you know it. We're bombarded with tons of information out there that tell us how to live a healthy life. And frankly, I'm up to here. I'm tired of people saying, I didn't know. Yes, you did. There is no excuse nowadays with today's technology that you don't know something. You don't know something, go find it out. You just got a diagnosis for heart disease or cancer, go become an expert in it. There, and go look for reputable sources. Don't just read some blog somewhere and expect that to be your only source of information. Okay? There is no excuse for complaining. Is there excuses for feeling bad? Sure. Are there excuses for, health problems? Sure. And I'm not discounting that. And I know there's tons of problems out there that are out of your control. But it's how you handle them now is what makes the difference. If you've been handed a diagnosis that wasn't within your control, or even if it was, what you do right now can make all the difference. Just like the tree planting quote, the best time to build health was over 20 years ago. The second best time is today. There are steps you can take right now to grow up, take responsibility and say, I own this. This is my fault. I am where I am because of the choices I have made, but now I'm ready to make better choices. I'm ready to learn all I can about my health problem, and I'm ready to take the steps necessary to feel better. And I'm not going to go out there and complaining on social media and to everybody else that listens how bad I feel without saying, yeah, I feel awful today, but you know what? I'm learning that there's some steps I can take to feel better, and by golly, I'm going to do it. That's a mature person. That's a person who takes ownership for where they are in their life. Be one of those people, okay? And again, I am here. I'm not a mean person, but I'm kind of like your mama today. I'm giving you a little fireside chat and a little tough love, and that's what mamas have to do sometimes. We love you. We want to help you, but we can't force you to do something. You have to take the steps and be willing to take the steps necessary to help yourself. And stop relying on your doctor and other people to fix you. Only you and God can fix you. All right? So, for today, I'm going to tell you again about our heart health webinar coming tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Bruce Daggy, a wonderful doctor. He might talk a little softer to you than I will tell you like it is, and some steps you can take to improve your heart health. I highly recommend you get on this. It's free. There aren't a lot of good things in life that are free, but this is free. I will put in the links or in the comments or wherever this is going to be at, the link to register. You must save your seat, so to speak. It's virtual. It's going to be on a webinar where you can join us live. And if there's time, we're going to have questions and answers. If you cannot make tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern Time, register anyway, and I will get you the recorded version, okay? So you can at least get the information. No excuse. You can stay in your jammies. You can, wherever you want to do, sit on the couch, however you want to do it. No excuse. If you can't be there, we'll get you a recorded version, but make sure you register, all right? Remember, I do love you guys. Most of you are my friends or my family or friends who are family, and you know me. I love you, but I won't coddle you, and I'll shoot from the hip and tell you like it is, because I know what it feels like to feel bad and feel like no one's in your corner. And believe it or not, the tough person who's going to tell you like it is going to be the only one left in your corner. All right? You guys take care.